Everybody, welcome once again to Paranormal Into the Night on the Late Horror Show. I am Dino, as always. What is going on, everybody? I got Sandra with us again for the second time, and we're going to do an update because links have changed and pages have changed and stuff like that. So we will get to all of that. Uh, a quick hello to everybody in the chat. Tracy Asteria, how you doing? Hopefully you're feeling much better. I think you are. You said you were. Ginger, Denny, RTN, what's going on? Chris W. Droon is here. Rich Cat Ranch. Let's see. Hey, Halloween's getting here, you guys. Connie. I know I'm all over the place sometimes. Connie, who else is here? Emily. And as you guys come in, Black Roses, what's going on? What we're going to do tonight is catch up with Sandra, of course, and hello, Sandra.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm doing fine.
Good. And Edward Stewart, WWM, is here. Good to see everybody as usual. At the very end of the show, she's going to do some tarot readings for you guys, just like we did last time. We'll do maybe the last half hour. I'll do a 1 through 10, and we'll pick somebody from the chat and have a little bit of fun. You know what I mean? So, again, Sandra's the real deal. So, very interesting. I had my own private reading with her, and I think a couple other people did too, and it was very interesting. So, yep. And as I said, Halloween is coming, so more spookiness on the channel, right, Sandra? Halloween is great.
Best time of year.
Yes, it is. Yeah, no intro, you guys. Working on a Paranormal Tonight intro, so going to get to that. Sandra, what's going on? Not this Sandra, but Sandra Minar. Just see, I always mess up last names, so I'm not going to say it. But in the chat, there you go. Okay, thank you. JLR is here. Okay, so I'm not going to prolong this very long, and also be sure to click out all the links everywhere. Please join the Patreon page, join the channel for some support. Keeps everything going and continuing this big journey that we got going on here. So, do all of that, and we'll have smiles on our faces, right? Anyways, Sandra, what's been new with you? We will get into stories. We will get into ghosts. We will get into some of your paranormal investigations and stuff like that. But what's been changing and what's been going on with you since you were last on here?
Wow, quite a bit.
Okay.
Quite a bit.
Start with the most important.
Well, the most important is we're getting ready to kick off our new show. We just changed the name basically, but we're going to be doing. Sorry, my dog.
It's all right. What can you do?
We're going to be doing a lot more stuff instead of just like in studio type interviews. We're going to be going out and doing interviews with the owners of haunted locations. A lot of that will be pre-recorded because you know how live video is out there in the zone. So, but it's now called. Sorry, people.
Sorry about that.
It's now called Haunted Central Events and Media because we're going to be starting to do events. Probably up here in the Pacific Northwest because we are kind of like the redheaded stepchildren over here. There's not a whole lot of activity in the paranormal that has ever really, done much with. So I want to start doing paracons up here in the square 4 states up here, like Montana, Idaho, Oregon, and here in Washington, of course. And yeah, so we're going to be doing a lot of stuff. We're really excited about it. Yeah, so that's the first thing that's changed.
Okay, so it's Haunted Central Events Media?
No, yeah, events and media.
Events and media. Okay, so that can be found on Facebook or YouTube.
Yeah, it's on YouTube. It'll be on YouTube too.
Okay, so I'll get the links in there. so that you guys can get a hold of her. Can they also just get a hold of you anywhere else?
Yeah, I have a my regular profile page, which is Sandra Justine Wells. If you look
Okay.
me up just by typing that in, they can find me. I'm all
Okay.
over Facebook, so you shouldn't have any problems finding me.
It sounds like it. I was going
Hmm.
to say I've kind of got a bunch of stuff going on all over
Yeah.
social media, links and everything, but I try not to change them all. But halfway in the middle of my YouTube thing, I changed from the Little Monsters Movie Podcast to the
Hmm.
Late Late Horror Show, and then
Right.
everything else that's going on. So it happens.
Right.
So, hello, Ruben. How are you doing? And I think Travis is here. I also would let you guys know in the chat, please feel free to ask away any questions that you would like to, during the conversation with Sandra, that you would like to ask. I will be keeping an eye on it very closely, just so that you guys can interact a little bit with Sandra this show. Because she's very good at what she does. So she could
Hmm.
help you with something maybe here.
Yeah.
And Tracy's got the link there, Haunted Central News and Reviews on Facebook.
Thank you, Tracy.
Um, yeah. So, anything else before we get started?
Um. Oh yeah, I changed my other page. I have a bachelor's in metaphysical sciences. I have a page that I do a lot of my tarot readings off of and things, and it's now called Sandra's Divine Light Tarot. It used to be something else, but if you look up Divine Light Tarot, Sandra's Divine Light Tarot, you should be able to find me. So
Okay. Yeah, it used to be Sacropedia or something like that, right?
yeah, and I just decided I didn't like it. I
That's
changed.
all right. That's all
I changed
right,
my
man.
mind a lot. So
Okay. Oh God, we got a question already. Icy Bird, what is going on? Chris W's already got a question for you. And Chris, keep them coming. I mean, we will there's certain things I want to talk to Sandra about, but question she says for Sandra. Being a medium, what is your greatest spiritual focus on Halloween? That's an interesting question. Is there any?
trying to figure out what she's talking about. Spiritual
Um,
focus.
Yeah, being a medium, what is your greatest spiritual focus on Halloween? Like, being a medium, is there anything you do you do anything different like during the Halloween season, or is it just business as usual,
I mean, well, I'm usually a little busier during the Halloween season because the spirits are more active. Um, there's a veil between our worlds, between our dimensions with the astral plane, and it gets thinner. And at that time, the spirits are more easily communicated with. I It just gets thinner and thinner until around Halloween, and then you know everything kind of goes back to normal. But then again, in December, it happens again. A lot of people don't know that, but yeah, it
Really?
gets
Okay.
yeah.
I can see Halloween because everybody just gets the energy just ramps up because everybody's kind of in that mindset of spooks and hauntings and
Right,
everything's scary. So
right,
the global energy just brings all that to the surface.
yeah.
So I can see that Christmas time or December. That's interesting. Any
Hmm.
reason why you think or?
No, I just think it's just the way it's always been, and I don't know why it happens, but
Hmm.
I can tell you that they're very active at that time of year. Maybe it's because they come back to the spirits that have transitioned. Maybe they come back to visit family because of Christmas time.
Holidays and all that.
Yeah,
Huh,
maybe I don't know. I
could
mean,
be interesting.
they do that anyway, but
Right.
maybe that's a more special time of year for them.
Well,
I
again, emotional feelings. Yeah, again, emotional feelings are,
True.
ramped up and people are thinking about loved ones a lot more. So
Right.
could be the reason behind it. Rich Cat Ranch asks, how do you protect yourself against potentially dangerous entities from the spirit world? Is
Oh,
there anything you do? Okay, yeah.
actually, yes, I do. For
Okay.
myself, I imagine I'm encased kind of in a bubble. I call it more like an egg shape, where it covers me and protects me. I kind of push it out. It's kind of like pushing your aura out a little bit. That
Hmm.
energy. and I tell them that they're not allowed to come, this close to me. That they're not allowed to come within my um, energy space.
Right.
And usually, I don't have too many problems with darker spirits because I can feel them. So I don't really even mess with those spirits. I just tell them I'm not interested in what you have to say to me. So just stay away. Yeah. Yeah. It's kind of hard
You've
to
been doing
explain.
you've been doing this for so many years that you've kind of figured out
Yeah.
a way and are used to just keeping those negative energies away, probably, right?
Well, yeah. I mean, knock on wood.
Right.
I have never had a entity that's, well, no, never mind. I can't say that exactly. But when I was first starting out, when I was 5, then of course I
Yeah.
was learning, and I didn't know how to protect myself in that way. So I had one experience where we lived in an old farmhouse, kind of like the typical spooky place you would think of,
Yeah.
and so I was dealing with a very harsh, malevolent spirit, and
Okay.
yeah, that wasn't any
Did
fun.
Yeah, did we? I think we talked about that last time.
I
We
think
may
we did.
have.
That's why I kept it short.
Yeah, because I think again, I think you had kind of this near-death experience at when you were
Hmm.
young, around roughly
Right.
5 years of age or so.
I was
Uh,
5. Yeah.
yeah, and it kind of opened you up to kind of this spiritual world, and you
Yeah.
saw the dead and things like that, and from there, it's just been a journey ever since, right?
Very much so.
Okay,
Yeah.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
and the thing is the older I get,
Mm-hmm.
the more I know, but the less I really use my abilities that much. I do when it
Mm-hmm.
comes to certain things, but like if I'm at an investigation, um, then of course I'm focused on what I'm doing. I am focused on the spirits, if any, are in the
Yeah.
building, and so yeah, I do this part, my mediumship. When I first go in, I do the walkthrough and all that, but then after that, um, I'm not. I'm focused as an investigator, and yes, I still debunk and everything else. So yeah.
Okay. And hello, Billy Martin in the chat. Good to see you there, buddy.
Hello.
Got a question again from Rich Cat Ranch. Is there a movie or TV show that you feel most accurately portrays the work of true mediums?
Hmm.
That depends, Rich Cat, if Sandra is much of a TV watcher or movie, so I guess it depends.
Well, honestly, I think that uh, I think the most. What is that lady's name? I can't think of her name because I really don't watch her that much, but I do like her work. It's not Teresa Caputo. I do like her, but
Okay.
it's
Is it that New York lady
I think so.
with the accent, and she's like really good with? I think I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, she's kind of shorter, and yeah, but
Yeah.
my thing is I like to watch psychic investigators or psychic detectives. That's my
Yeah.
favorite kind of show to watch. That's what I like doing. So
Yeah. What's the one on Travel Channel? Spirit, um, with Amy and Adam.
I like
Uh,
I like Amy too. I think she's really good. Yeah,
yeah. You know what show I'm talking about, right? I'm
I
trying to
do.
remember. I'm trying to
Dead
remember the
Files.
name.
Dead
Okay.
Files.
There you go. So there are some shows out there that do.
Mm-hmm.
And hello, Derby Girl and Camilo. What's going on?
Hello,
Nice to
buddy.
see you here. And Kathy, much love, hugs. So the ghost of Bob Crane. Oh, they're joking around. Anyways, he could be out there. Who knows?
You never
Uh,
know.
yeah. So you know what? I did want to ask you for about some of your early, middle, late investigations in the
Mm-hmm.
paranormal field.
Okay.
I always like to pick out kind of like some of the more spookier things that have happened or that stand out. I've picked a couple places. I don't know if you've ever investigated there, but like if we go and talk about graveyards,
Okay.
which I'm sure you've probably investigated some graveyards in your day,
I
right?
love cemeteries and graveyards. Yeah.
Okay, so if we didn't get to this last week, if you could, is there anything that stands out? Something that's just scared the living daylights out of you, or not necessarily scared the living daylights out of you because you might have been used to it, but something that stands out as being really spooky.
Mm, well, I can kind of tell you about a place that we did in Snohomish, Washington, which is in the state I live. It's called the Oxford Saloon. I don't think I talked about that one last time.
I don't think
Uh, we documented approximately 7 different spirits that haunt the building. It's an old town. It's an old saloon. It's like the wild and crazy days of the
of the
early
West.
days in Washington State.
Yeah.
And it sits right on a river. The whole town is haunted. I mean, literally. What happened there? But the Oxford is. They had a brothel upstairs. It's like a 3-story building, but you got the main floor, then you got the lower bar, which was the basement, obviously, and then upstairs was a brothel. And the first time we ever investigated the Oxford was probably, I mean, it's probably one of my all-time favorite places that I've ever investigated. Because it has so many spirits in there to communicate with. There's a couple nasty ones there. I mean, there's the guy upstairs, which Russ and I were the first 2 people to go upstairs that night, and him being an intuitive, me being an intuitive, the manager of the bar gave us the keys so we could get into the rooms upstairs, and went to the first room. And the keys fell out of my hands. I didn't think much of it, because accidents happen, And so I picked them back up, and I tried to get the key to go in the door again, because we were trying to figure out which keys, open which doors and that kind of thing. And I tried the next key, and it wouldn't go in either. So I went to the next one, and then the keys fell out of my hands again. And I'm like, what the hell? So then.
And you weren't feeling anything knocking it out or nothing?
I'm getting to that.
Okay.
So then I tried again, and it was like 4 times trying to get in this one door, and I said, forget it. We don't need to go in that room, obviously. So we went to the next room, couldn't open that door. And all these keys were just for the upstairs room. And none of them were opening up. So we finally got to the 3rd room, and I went to put the key in the door again, and there it went down on the floor again. Well, then we're recording this whole time. Obviously, we weren't doing real-time EVPs at that time. This was like several years ago. So it's like early 2000, probably 2001, 2002, somewhere in there. And so I said, forget it. I'm not doing this. Apparently, I'm not supposed to open these doors. So Russ, I said, here, you try it. So he went to open the door, and the keys fell on the floor. Well, come to find out, when we got home and I started listening back I wanted to find out what was going on upstairs, So I went to listen back to the audio, and we hear a voice that says, I dropped the damn keys to my room. My rooms is what it said. It was a long sentence, and it was obvious what he was saying too. It was really creepy. And then we finally get into room 3. Apparently he decided we could go in there. I don't know, but we went into there, and we were standing on the far side of the room, and there's mirrors everywhere. And we were talking. You could hear us talking on the audio about all the reflections and everything else in the pictures, like, so that we knew exactly where all the mirrors were, so that obviously we would know if we were actually seeing something in a photo or on the video or whatever. Well, anyway, during that audio, we picked up a woman screaming, and then a gunshot.
Okay.
And this is like 2 or 3 in the morning. You got to understand, there's nobody there but me and Russ, and like I think it was like 4 other people. They were downstairs.
Well, it sounds like sounds you would hear from a brothel, a Western
Right.
kind of bar or hotel back in the day.
Right, and it wasn't just the gunshot and the woman screaming. You could hear a man calling her the B word, and also furniture moving around.
Okay.
This is a Halloween time, by the way. This is October. It was on October 19th. I'll never forget it. I mean, so it was a good one. And then this guy's following us around the whole time we're up there. We're upstairs for 29 minutes and I think it was like 24 seconds. It was on our counter on our cassette recorder.
Okay.
We knew exactly when we turned it on and exactly when we turned it off. And so we're getting that funhouse effect where you're kind of feeling off balance, the whole time we're up there. And so we're just continuing on. We didn't know that we got what we got on audio until we were done. And boy, this next one just shocked there was a bench in the hallway. And I was sitting on it and I was asking questions. I had my microphone out like this. And the next thing I know, when we get home and I do the audio, there's a guy laughing at me for the questions I was asking him.
Oh, jeez.
And the next time that we contact him again, he's in the next room with us. This is room 4. And he's saying, what has he said?
I am the one.
I am the one. He says, and it was like it was right this close to the microphone. It was so clear. It was like me and you talking right now. It was so clear. He says, I am the one. I guess apparently for what was going on upstairs. And then that whole building is crazy because there was a lady that ran the brothel. Her name was Catherine, and she was a local businesswoman who was very prominent in the community, and nobody knew that she was the one running it. But I think the guy that we ran into was kind of like a bar. What do they call him? A bouncer, maybe.
Okay. Yeah.
Kind of
tough guy in the front door.
Definitely mean, tough guy. And so that building we've had so many experiences from, and we've gotten apparition photos out of that building.
Oh, geez, you should have sent me a picture. We would have showed it, but that's all right.
Yeah,
you can probably find it.
I have one that Russ captured. There was a police officer that was killed in the line of duty, and going on the stairs to the downstairs bar, and apparently somebody stabbed him, and he was trying to crawl up the stairs and he died on the stairs. So when you walk down those stairs, you get about midway, about where he died, and you get this vibration in your feet. It's like kind of like a residual energy almost. But Russ was standing down in the lower bar and he's facing the stairwell, and he's took a series of 10 photos because we try to do that sometimes to see if anything changes, And so he took, like I said, a series of 10 photos. But when I look back at him in the photos, I think it was photo number 2 and number 3, there was a face and kind of partial shoulders looking at Russ when he was taking the photo. And the next photo, it looked away. It was looking up the stairs.
Could you distinguish anything from the photo, like, could you just like kind of barely just tell it was a man or?
No, it was a man. It was definitely a man. He had a beard and brown glasses or something.
Okay. And this place what was the name of this place again? So everybody knows.
The Oxford Saloon in
Oxford Saloon.
Yeah, in Snohomish, Washington. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
And again, a Halloween season when everybody's out, kind of doing their investigating, ramping up all the energy in all of these spots, these hot spots. So it makes sense if that's when you guys anybody wants to go out and do kind of an investigation on their own. Pick the Halloween season. You can really probably get more during that month than any other time of the year. Usually, I mean, I'm just saying in general.
Right.
But any idea on some of the individual people who are haunting that place, or
The one we do know about is Henry the Cop. That was his name, Henry.
okay,
They have a portrait downstairs in the lower bar that has a picture of, I think, like 6 police officers in that photo.
okay,
And one of them has been identified as that guy. Um,
okay,
then there's a lady, but they used to own the bar at some point in history. I think
hmm
it was like in the 40s or 50s or something. And her name was Billy. And at that time, they transferred the name to Billy's Tavern. Well, she loved to sit in there and listen to the music. There's like on the main floor, there's like a bandstand kind of thing. And
yeah,
the band's set up there. And it's been, I mean, that bands have had nothing but problems. They set up, up there on the bandstand, the musical,
my
the
speaker's
electric,
not working. Yeah,
yeah, something's not working, So anyway,
electrical energy. Yeah.
this woman used to love listen to music, and
hmm
they had her photo up behind where the band would set up,
Yeah,
and she had kind of grayish, well, silvery kind of hair. She was older, she's like probably in her 60s or 70s.
yeah,
And so she would sit in the table next to where the band was playing. Of course, you got to understand the band was nothing like what they play today.
yeah.
So yeah, it was kind of different kind of music. But so then some new owner came in and he moved the photo. It's a big portrait of her,
Yeah.
and they moved it over to the other wall by the bar.
Okay.
Well, every time I think they told it was like 6 or 7 times that the portrait would fly off the wall and
Ah,
land in the middle of the floor, not just down like it slipped off the nail or something, but flew
yeah.
across the room. And they kept having to replace the frame. And when we came in to investigate, they asked us why that would happen, and
hmm
they told us about what she, who she was, what they did. And Russ and I suggested, why don't you just put the portrait back up where it was? They did, and it hasn't done it since.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah.
No, that's very cool. A lot of time, and I see your question, Tracy. I stopped so that I can get. There's a question from Rich Cat again. There's one from Chris.
Mm-hmm.
I will get through all the questions that I can. So I stopped in the chat, uh, and I will get to them. So there you go. Tracy's question is a good one. Um, but yeah, no. I guess I should take one here. That's a great story. Sounds like an awesome place to go investigate for sure.
Well, I could
Uh,
tell you lots of stories about that place.
no, I bet. Jeez.
I could write a book about the investigations we did there. I'm not kidding. That much activity. Yeah.
Well, and you know what? That's what's good about shows like this and stuff. That hopefully it'll be out there forever. And people,
Yeah.
will always be able to hear kind of some of the stories. That's why I like having guests on like you and others who can share their experiences. And like folklore. It was always ear
Yeah.
to ear, mouth to ear, whatever. Passed
Yeah.
on. Here we got video nowadays. So, Rich Cat, another question: does astrology play a part at all in who is most in tune with the spirit world? I'll let Sandra. I don't think so, but yeah, Sandra.
No. No.
Yeah,
Has
yeah,
nothing to do with it.
yeah. It
Well, I
goes a
mean,
little bit deeper.
it's
Yeah.
it plays a part in the sense that when you're doing readings for people and stuff,
Mm-hmm.
a lot of astrologers will kind of do predictions for the month or whatever. On YouTube,
Yeah.
you can find it. There's also, people do tarot readings and things like that. That's another form of tools that intuitives may use. But as far as the reason they have ability, no, it has nothing to do with it.
Yeah.
Just has a lot. Everybody, see, that's what people don't understand is everybody has the abilities to be an intuitive. It just
Yeah.
how accepting you are to the possibility is, yeah.
Yeah. Astrology plays a big part in who you are as a person, but
Mm-hmm.
given the abilities to do what like Sandra does, given the gift of which usually occurs from near-death experiences. Some are just born with it, passed on
Right.
from the parents. So it's just
It
life
can be hereditary too.
yeah,
I mean, like passed down, like
yeah.
you just said. Yeah.
And that's a laptop you're using, right, Sandra?
What's that?
That's a laptop you're using, right?
Yes.
It's really weird. It's kind of spooking me out a bit. It seems like it's moving from the
Oh,
left to the right, and then we'll get this backwards and forward, and I'm like going, how's it doing that? Is it like
it's
hovering in front of Sandra?
it. No, it's my webcam. It
Okay.
has I can't think what it's called, but it will adjust for like if you get farther away, it'll
It's
adjust.
moving
It'll
and
yeah
autofocusing. Okay,
yeah.
and making
Mhm.
okay. It seems a little. Hey, apropos for the show, it's looking a little spooky. But anyway, Chris W has another question. I'll eventually get down to
Okay.
yours, Tracy. On Halloween, have you ever seen a UFO, dead person's spirit, or orbs? I'd love to hear your experience. I'm sure she's saying on Halloween, the spookiest day of the year.
Well,
Tough
trying
one.
to think.
Yeah.
There's lots. I mean, you consider that my husband and Russ and I have been in doing this for 43 years. There's a lot of experiences I can go back to.
Yeah,
Um,
pick one. Yeah.
I think if you go to our YouTube channel, it's now called Haunted Central, and
Events
so
and
forth.
media.
Right. Which I haven't changed the name there, so it still would be news and reviews. But go
And
there.
look at there. Tracy posted it before you even mentioned it, like at least 30 seconds prior. So it's very interesting that she's kind of got some intuitive thing going there too,
Sure she
Tracy.
does. Sure she does. Thank
So
you,
there you
Tracy.
go. There you go.
Um, but I would say probably my the one, if you go, there's a video on there talks about Halloween. The Russ and I went back up to Devil's Tower. I think I talked to you guys about that last time, but
Yes.
Devil's Tower is this place that sits above concrete where we live. It's actually a town, concrete. um, and it's a funny name. I don't know, whatever. Used to be called Cement City. Used to also be
Okay.
called something else. But anyway, up at that was probably one of our spookiest places that we've ever been, and the only place that I've ever been where I felt like the people that we were with, all of us were in danger. That's the probably the creepiest place I can remember. Of course, Russ would probably argue with me about that
Uh,
because we've done so many, but the one that probably stands out for him would be the old Montana prison, which was the first territorial prison in Montana from the past,
okay.
and yeah, that's where he got attacked. So yeah,
Okay. So the spookiest uh, thing is just being attacked, feeling a physical presence from one of the spirits or energies, right?
well,
And
yeah, if
yeah,
you get attacked, I mean, he was standing. He was standing in a prison cell,
yeah,
and say he's intuitive, so he felt the presence, and he
okay,
also felt the energy was really heavy. And
yeah,
he says I can feel you, buddy, and something we don't know. We think it might have been a prison guard, or it could have been one of the prisoners, past
hmm,
prisoners, but it hit him across the chest,
okay,
and
gee,
he kind of lifted up and got thrown backwards 3 feet into the wall.
wow,
And yeah, that
oh
was
my.
pretty. That's when he almost quit.
Well,
Yeah,
I
yeah,
I don't blame Russ at all. No, that
right.
anytime you get hit and lifted and thrown, it would make you think twice, no matter how gifted you are, on what
But
you're doing for sure.
yeah,
But
but
there's
see
also,
if you
go
got
ahead.
somebody like me around,
Yeah.
I'm his wife. I told him you're not quitting. Go
No.
back in there and face whatever this is because it's kind of like
Yeah.
falling off a horse. If you don't get back on, you never will.
Right.
So
Fight back. Yeah.
and so they went back in, did an EVP session,
Mm,
and Russ asked, "Were you trying to hurt me?" And the answer was yes. He said, "Would you do it again? Would you do it again?" And it said yes. So yeah, those kind of places are kind of
Yeah, they're badass. Yeah.
yeah.
And the thing, people, and Dave Plouffe says, hey, I am hooked on watching Justine's past readings on her. So he's been watching your past stuff too. So he's intrigued. Always good going back and looking at some older videos and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
But people also don't understand that being attacked doesn't necessarily mean physical. I mean, you can be overwhelmed mentally, which is the same kind of energy attack from the spirit in a negative way, where people feel nauseous, sick, disoriented, and leave the situation. It clears up. It's so there's different kinds of attacks for sure.
Yes, there's psychic attacks, there's physical attacks, there's and like you said, there's numerous ways of putting it, but basically something is messing with you that you don't want messing with you. There's channeling where the spirit will jump in, basically, and jumping in, kind of taking over, which has happened to Russ. So I mean, he always seems to get the weird stuff. Like I think I said this last time. He gets the really weird stuff, and I'm just usually there as a witness.
Oh, geez.
So poor guy, he's just been.
Well, you get that microphone set up, and in the future, we're going to have to sit down and talk to Russ, and that way we can, and that way we can settle the pages and the links and all that down too. Rich Cat Ranch again. She's going wild with the questions. Where is the most spiritually charged place you've ever visited? You may have said it, but
wow.
Yeah,
spiritually charged. That's a good question. That's a good question because I mean, Arizona is very energetically charged. Go around Sedona and that kind of thing. I was only kind of driving through, but it's like driving down the road. Russ and I will kind of play this game where if we see a house and it draws us to it, there's something about it that needs to be checked into. Like it doesn't have to be an empty house either. It could be where somebody lives, and you're driving down the street, and all of a sudden there's this this feeling that you get pulled to it. That usually for me and for Russ, it means it's probably got a spirit in it or ghost, whatever you want to call them. But energy, spiritually energized, I think Arizona probably would be. Yeah. Oregon has a vortex thing too, and I think it's pretty interesting. Yeah.
Yeah, there's certain places across the globe that are just better than others, like whether it's a vortex or it's very complicated, right, Sandra?
Yeah.
Let's see. I know there was another question here from I'm trying to get down to it. Let's see, from Tracy. Where's that question? Am I that far away from it? Do you find the veil thinnest during fall equinox or other high holidays during the year? Says Derby Girl. Sandra.
Well, Halloween is the best time, I think. But like I said earlier, the December is also the veil thins as well, and I'm not real sure. I can't tell you exactly why that happens, and I think I said that earlier, but it's for me on a daily basis. I am very in sync with what goes on around me and things like that. So if I feel a spirit, like if I'm doing a tarot reading and I get like tingles down my arms and stuff like that, and down my back, that is me. It's a verification for me or clarifying thing that spirits are telling me that yes, whatever you're saying is the truth. And so, it's kind of a deal I have with with my guides that if I'm telling these people what they need to hear, give me a sign that you agree with me, and that's what they give me is these charges down my arms and back, and
very good. So here we go with a pretty good question from Tracy. She says, Sandra, can you talk about shadow work, mirror work, And do you
Well,
offer your private guidance on these subjects?
well, I haven't done it yet because I've been I've been going to school and trying to do this other stuff with the haunted stuff. So it kind of I'm focused different ways a lot of times, but shadow work is very important. I talk about shadow past challenges. I actually am getting ready to do. I almost forgot about this. I'm getting ready to do a live meditation for
Okay.
letting go of past challenges, patterns, and shadows, basically.
Okay.
Um, I haven't scheduled it yet, but it'll be very soon. And if you want to, it's free. Just I'll make it as an event on Facebook if you're on Facebook. Otherwise, I'll let Dino know, and maybe he can tell you guys
Okay.
when it'll be.
Yeah, always shoot me a link.
Mm-hmm.
Or definitely on Facebook, check out Haunted Central Events and Media.
Yes.
And really quick, because I think some people out there might not know exactly what shadow work means.
Okay. Basically, if you've had a traumatic life, you've had, I don't know, bad things happen to you in your life, basically, is what it is, challenges, situations that didn't make you feel so good about yourself, or you just wish that you could forget about it and move on. Well, that's what you're supposed to do. Because when we have when we have a challenge in our life, no matter what it is, you have to learn to let go of that, or you can't move forward into a new cycle. Like
Mm-hmm.
we all go through cycles in our life, and those cycles, you have to get rid of one to be able to move on to the next. It's kind of like when I'm doing tarot and I get the death card. A lot of people go, "Oh my God,
Oh my
death
God.
card!" No,
Yeah.
yeah, well, that's not what it represents. The death card means the endings of one cycle, the beginning of a new cycle. So if you get
Okay.
that in a spread, that's what that means. You let go of whatever happened, and now you're moving on to something new. And shadow work is basically that. You're letting go of things that have been dragging you down in your life.
Right.
Yeah. So
Okay. Okay.
yeah.
Very good. Yeah, I just wanted to clarify so some people understand exactly what that means. And Tracy did have in that the mirror work, which I don't know. It might be a
You
little bit. I don't know if you deal in it or not. I think
well,
Chris W even says soul travel in the mirror. Is that possible? But anyway,
people say that.
yeah.
Let me answer this one because I've been
Okay.
doing this for so long, and with what I do, um, okay, mirror work some is a form of something that people do, or that like spiritual counselors and stuff will use
Hmm.
to help people be able to face themselves. Okay, like
Okay.
when you look in a mirror and you're looking into your own eyes, you can't lie to yourself.
Right.
So it's a way of saying, okay, I can't lie to myself, so I have to tell the truth about what I did or what's happened to me or something. It's a form of therapy, basically.
Okay.
Now, on the paranormal side of it,
There you
um,
go.
spirits, okay, they say spirits get trapped in mirrors.
Hmm.
I don't know where that came from, but
Okay.
I've never seen it.
Okay.
Um, I've
I
seen,
think I
yes,
think I'm with you.
yes,
Yeah.
I have seen spirits in mirrors and windows and you name it, but
Yeah.
they don't stay there. A lot of people
Yeah.
think of it as a vortex of some kind. Maybe it is, but as far as my experience goes, I don't I don't
Yeah,
believe that. So
I agree with you. I think mirror work has just become somewhat of an urban legend type thing in the paranormal field, where it's created this whole story where you know spirits can get trapped in mirrors. But I'm with you on that one definitely.
yeah.
Um, Derby Girl does have a question. She says, "I've been trying to strengthen my psychic awareness.
Hmm.
I've had the worst 2 weeks of sleep. Is this possibly linked? Lots of waking up constantly and major high stress dreams."
Well, I can tell you why part of that is happening is because you're trying to you're pushing too hard. Okay, you got the thing with psychic abilities. You have to let them come to you as you're meant to get them. Because if you're trying to push it, that stuff that's been happening to you is going to happen, and you're going to find yourself getting overtired and everything else. But part of another reason why you're having the stress and all that right now is because we are in Mercury retrograde, which is lasting from September 9th to October 2nd. It's a very high energy. This one is a really bad one. It's even been affecting me. So that's you can tell how strong it is. Plus, we're also having a harvest moon on the 23rd of September, and that will also affect the energies. You know, the tides, all that stuff affects us as human beings. So,
right.
If you're stressed out, you can't sleep. You're angry. You feel like you're angry all the time for no reason. Just things you can't explain that you don't normally do. It's probably the retrograde. So just take a breath, relax. Don't let things get to you, because this too shall pass. Trust me. About psychic abilities, just like I said, just take it easy. Take deep breaths. Meditation is a really good form of bringing out your psychic abilities, but you got to be careful. Make sure you're protecting yourself. Use obsidian, tourmaline. What's another one? Anyway, those two are really good at protecting. So set it next to you when you're meditating or whatever. It keeps the bad energy away, and it keeps some bad spirits coming through. So you don't want that. So
and I would say also continue to do some and I think she knows what we're all talking about here, because she deals in some of that. Do a lot of cleansing, Derby girl.
Yes.
That's very important. During this period. So yeah, definitely do that. Chris W has another one, and I saw yours too, Dave, and we'll get to it. Lots of questions this evening, which is awesome. We're already coming to the top of the hour soon, and geez. Anyways, Chris W question: have you ever been around someone whose abilities to see spirits become your abilities when you're around them? And is this a spirit attachment? They have trying to connect?
Been around someone whose abilities to see spirits becomes your abilities. Oh, you're talking about a psychic vampire.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. I can give you an example.
Okay.
We had somebody come on our team. She was a very nice lady, but unfortunately, we soon found out that whatever Russ was getting or whatever I was getting, she was going up and asking what we were getting. And of course, being a team member, we told her what was going on, what we were getting. And then I'd say, well, what are you getting? Oh, I'm getting the same thing. See, they try to use your coattails basically and ride along with you.
Yep.
And so it got kind of out of hand. And so, we kindly asked her not to be on our team anymore, because that was back in the early 2000s. But yeah, you have to be careful, because you don't want them thinking that they can take over your situation, your own abilities. And it could also be an attachment, like you were just saying. It can be an attachment, because they may have some negative energy around them that's attaching to you. So, yeah.
Oh,
you
yeah.
Have to be careful with that.
Yep. Again, yeah. It's always good to consult with somebody, because, yeah, you don't know what's really going on until you honestly get a professional, if you want to call it that, or somebody who's truly psychic or a medium, which isn't always easy, right, Sandra? I mean, it's
not. Yeah, it's not. I saw somebody say obsidian's a good door stop. It is. That's what I said. Obsidian makes good door knockers. Oh my goodness.
Oh, geez.
Yes, actually it does. You don't want some spirit coming in and using. Yeah.
Let me guess who that was. Was that RTN? That's
yes.
Okay, I got it. Yeah. He's our resident jokester. He's gone through a heck of a lot. Cancer,
sorry to hear that.
Yeah, but he's very high in spirits right now and doing very well, and much love to him for sure. He's a good guy. Anyways, Tracy has another question.
Okay.
Can you? Oh wait, is that the same one you just talked about? And do you offer? Wait, how did I get to that question again?
I
Um,
don't know.
yeah, that's weird. Maybe she put it in there for a second time. Let's see.
I think she did. Yeah, I think I saw it twice on there.
Okay, maybe because I didn't get to it. And she, Dave Plafay, I remember Sandra mentioning a vortex opened above her, and I always thought of this painting. He's got a link for it. Okay.
Okay.
Let's see. I'm trying to find a question. Um, listen, how about have you ever entered? Let me put it this way.
Hmm.
Are there any specific places that are the most haunted out of uh, and it's just a question I'm just throwing out there out of graveyards, like mental asylums. You could throw in hospitals there if you want. Uh,
Hmm.
people's residential homes. Out of those three, is there one that kind of ends up being overall more haunted than the other?
No.
No? Okay. Well, I asked, so you know.
That's okay. Um, okay. I would say there's like a top five kind of that would have the most type hauntings or the best hauntings.
Okay.
To search, to investigate would be, you're right, hospitals, asylums, taverns. You'd be surprised how many haunted taverns there are. Let's see. Some graveyards are actually, excuse me with that, some cemeteries. There's a
Hmm.
difference between a graveyard and a cemetery. If
Right.
people don't know that. But there is.
Yeah.
What else? Oh, ghost towns. Those are probably my top five, would say that they're probably the most haunted.
Okay. I just threw that out there. I mean, that's like you said, a lot of people, those are the first places people go to. But
Well, it's also depends on what. Okay, you got to remember what
what
type
happened?
of people were in those locations.
Yeah, yeah. And what
Taverns.
kind of
I mean, think about taverns.
yeah,
A lot of fights, that kind of thing. Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, I was going to say, it depends on what kind of energy level the place has had over the period of time. Lots of grief, lots of death in hospitals and asylums, lots of things that should not have went on. Even prisons, like you said,
Yeah.
anywhere, something terrible happened could have left some residual energy or even left kind of an opening, a veil for the spirits to come and go. So
The,
yeah, it's
the
more so.
way
Go
the
ahead.
way that Russ and I look at it is like a prison, for instance. Think
Hmm.
about the type of people that were in those places.
Right,
Um, Another thing is, um, like asylums. These are people that have mental conditions
right.
that are schizophrenic. A lot of them were just put there, unfortunately, to get for family members or a husband.
Couldn't handle 'em. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, putting their wife in there because they're going through menopause, whatever. It just depends on what
sure.
happens there. You know.
Yeah, yeah. The early part of the century, even up through the 50s, it was a sad part of our history when it
Very sad.
came to the state hospitals and who they would put in there and for what reasons. Like you said, menopause, it's like, okay, you're just going to put me in here just because I'm acting a little
Well,
goofy because of a, go ahead.
and those little kids that I can't think of what that is that they have, but they're such cute little angels that people would put them in asylum. All children are little angels, as far as I'm
Right.
concerned.
Yeah.
But there's a
Down
special
syndrome and
Down syndrome, and a lot of those
yeah,
kids would get put in asylums because people didn't know how to handle them.
right, right.
But they're such loving little babies.
Yes.
I just think they're adorable. You
And
know?
many are very, very smart.
They
So
are very smart. Yeah.
yeah. So, yeah, it's life, right, Sandra? Anyways, Edward's got
Yeah.
another. Yeah. Edward's got a question. Sandra, have you ever seen anything you couldn't explain, possibly seeing something in a cemetery or any investigation or something similar? I guess something you could never explain, like just you walked away and said,
it's like you it's not that you can't explain it because you know what you've seen and you know what you felt and you know what you heard, whatever. But what it is you can't explain it in normal life ways. Like we were at Fort Worden, which is a old military installation in where is it? Port Townsend, Washington. I like talking about Washington because a lot of people think, oh, there's no haunted places up there. There's lots of haunted places up here. But Fort Worden, and we were standing with our we had just gone into the military museum, and we were coming out, and our grandkids were with us, and two of them walked out to the car, but the other two were standing there with us. And this guy comes walking around the corner of the museum on the sidewalk, kind of in this marchy kind of like he was marching almost, like he was, walking stiff and robotic. Thank you, Russ.
Gotcha. Thanks, Russ.
He said thank you. Anyway, so this guy starts talking to Russ. And he has this look in his eyes like he's staring off into nothing, but he's paying attention to you at the same time. It's very strange. Yeah. Okay, you got to understand, this military installation has been shut down since the early 1900s. Okay. It was set up to protect the coast, from intruding whatever ships and stuff. And so Russ is standing there. He's talking to him. And he shakes Russ was in the military too, so that's just kind of a respect thing. They always kind of talk to each other. Well, he reached out, and then the guy shook his hand, and Russ said it was like shaking hands with an ice cube. His hands were so cold, and it was not cold that day. It was probably in the upper 60s, 70s. I mean, that's not cold. And so, anyway, he's got this old uniform on. Looks like he'd just been in a movie or a play or something where they were, whatever. And then, so he's walking, and then he walks off. They say their goodbyes. He's solid as you and me. I mean, you would think, okay, he's just a regular guy, got a military haircut, the whole 9 yards. Everything is perfect military-wise. Okay, so they finally stopped talking, and Russ. We're getting ready to leave. Went over to get in our truck, and he was walking down the sidewalk. This guy, and so he gets down to the end. Well, I don't know actually where he went after he walked down a little ways from us, but we got in the rig, and by that time we had backed out. We came down. We didn't see him on the sidewalk, and so we go around the corner and go down another corner so we could go out of the park. And there he is, walking on the other side on the sidewalk in front of the officers' housing, which is now places you can rent, I guess. But anyway, so he's halfway down that sidewalk. There is no way in God's little green earth that guy could have got from where we were to where he was when we saw him again in 2 minutes. Because there was like a 3 football size parade field in between where we were and where he was when we saw him again. Okay. So there's unless he like got on a motorcycle and scooted around the corner, there's no way that he could have got over there that quick and walking the same way, very robotic, very looking around like. And Russ told him that because he asked him, so where were you stationed? And the guy, I can't remember what he said, but Russ said, I was in Korea, but not wartime, but like he was stationed over there in Korea. Yeah. And the guy looked at him like, what is Korea? It was he had this strange look on his face, like he didn't have any clue what Russ was talking about. Yeah. Now, if anybody you guys don't know, Korea was a supposedly a police action that happened in the 1950s, I think it was, and ended somewhere around the end of the early 60s or something.
No. 50 to 53.
Oh, 50 to 53. Excuse me, Mr. Military Man.
Well, there you go.
Yeah, but
Okay.
yeah. So
Very interesting.
we looked up the uniform that he was wearing.
Yeah.
And it was from the First World War.
Okay. Okay, so there you go, Edward. That's very interesting. Got another question real quick from Dave Plouffe. Sandra, I have been interested in smudging with sage and juniper in my home. Is there anything special I need to know? I live near a Native American shop, selling sage and pottery to place it on.
Okay.
Selling sage and pottery to place it on.
Okay. I live near a Native American shop selling sage and pottery to place. Oh, okay. Usually, if you're going to use sage, the best thing, or Palo Santo, which is I don't have them out, but I can show you. It's a piece of wood. Palo Santo is very, very strong. It's also like sage. You can use that. Also cedar, a bundle of sage, but a bundle of cedar branch will also help. But you need to get a abalone shell. Where's mine? It's lost.
No.
I don't know where it's at right now, but I have and you need a feather to,
spread it. The
Thank
energy. The sage. There you go.
Everybody, my brain's not working. What? Stop laughing at me.
Russ is getting a kick out of it, huh?
He is, and I won't. Russ and I have been married 42 years or 43 years, and so
something like that.
Yes. That's funny.
So we pick on each other a lot.
Well, there you go.
Yeah. So
let's see. I'm trying to see if there's anything before we do some tarot readings for people. That again. Okay, I think if I'm missing a question, because I think we're going to get ready to do some tarot readings for some people. And I do see a lot of new people in here. Tester, Might, how you doing? Binks, Ocean, everybody else. Good to see everybody. Again, the links have been put up in the thing, the chat, but we'll put them back up in the description here. My biggest fear is to be put in an insane asylum, says Derby Girl. I hear you. I feel like it's a fear from my past life.
That's why I did not tell my family what I could do until I was like 18.
Really? Okay.
It was my biggest fear because my family was very religious, and I was afraid they would think I was communicating with demons.
Yeah, no. Again, if this was a different time and era, you probably would have been, but
probably.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to, if I miss any questions, sorry you guys. I am going to Droon, $20 super chat. Thank you very much. A big thank you to Sandra and Dino tonight. I've learned so much tonight. Thank you, Droon. I really do appreciate that. That means a lot. Really do. I love having Sandra. This is only the second time, but I had a reading with her, so it feels like the third time. So I love having her on here. Hopefully we'll be able to do more in the future. That's up to Sandra. I know she's busy lady, but okay.
We'll have to have you on our show.
Yeah. Again, we'll work it out. Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, I would love to be on your show. So yes, we will figure it out one way or the other. Okay, so there we are. I'm at the bottom, and this is how we're going to do it. Kind of like last time. I'm going to pick a number between 1 through 10, and the first person to type the correct number in the chat gets the reading. So, oh God, I got to make it bigger than that. Okay, so I put a number between 1 and 10 on here. Go The first person to get the correct answer in the chat will get a reading from Sandra. So go ahead. Yeah, here we go. Close. Oh, hey, UFOs is no joke. What's going on? Oh, that's funny. We got a 4 and a 2, but no, it's not 4 and 2. Let's see. Somebody will get it. Come on, guys. Come on. I'll push the number out to you guys. Maybe it'll help. There we go. Look at this. Somebody I've actually never seen in the chat before comes up and gets the correct number here. AO Radio. AO Radio. And if you can see it, well, let me turn it. I need an ink pen, a marker. It's 3. There, you can see it there. It's a 3. So there you go. Sandra, AO Radio.
Okay.
I don't know if
Is there
there's
anything in particular that you want to know?
Yeah, AO Radio. Is there anything in particular you'd like her to dive into, or just a general? Go ahead. Yeah, it usually takes a few seconds or so to catch up.
It's always a delay.
Yeah, there's some kind of time slip between YouTube and the show.
Okay. It's okay. We'll just do a
general. Yeah.
General. Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So, is there anything that you could tell me for AO Radio? Cool. Anything else? Spirits? Anything else?
He says money. That's all. So.
Well, we'll see if the spirit guys agree with you.
Okay. And it's funny, he was the only one with a 3, which means he needed.
I didn't know the number, so
yeah.
So you guys know. Wow.
Oh, no.
I have not seen this in so long. You got 3 major arcana cards here. First, you have the star card. Let's see if I can see it. See it? Okay.
Yep.
Okay, it talks about healing and hope, talks about divine renewal, and it talks about soul alignment. Basically what that's telling you is you're being recharged for something bigger and better. Okay, that's if you see the crystal right here, and the moon's up here. This crystal is recharging you. There's something that you may have been through that now you're slowly coming out of it. I don't know what the situation would be, but you're coming out of something that was maybe a little heavy for you, and now you're starting to rebuild yourself. Okay. The second card that we got was the strength card, which goes along with renewal, because you're going to need strength to redo what it is that happened to you. Okay. It talks about fortitude, resilience, and self-discipline. So make sure that you got to stay strong to rebuild what happened. And then you got the temperance card, which talks about yin and yang. Okay. Opposites, good and evil kind of thing. Yeah. All right. Talks about balance and patience. It also talks about self-control and higher learning. So, wow. Like I said, this is a very powerful reading. This is something that is going to be really good for you in the grand scheme of it. But you got some work to do to get to where you need to be to start that new cycle, like I was talking about earlier. There's a whole new cycle coming in for you, and what a powerful cycle. Oh my God.
Wow. Yeah.
Congratulations. Good luck to you. Good luck to you. Whatever this endeavor or whatever, you got to make sure that you're taking care of yourself too. Okay.
Sounds good.
This is going to take a lot of strength, like the card said. Yeah.
Wow. Right. Very good. Very good. Yeah. AO Radio, first time here, and hopefully that resonated with you a bit. AO Radio. Very good reading, Sandra. So yes, let's keep it going. Let's I got another number I just wrote down. I writ down between 1 and 10. First one to come up with it will get a reading. So go for it. And hello, Paul B. Good to see you. First one, 1 through AO Radio says thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay. Let's see. Nobody yet. Let's see who needs this reading. It will just happen. There we go. There we go. Oh, yeah. Here we go. The number is, again, I'm using a pencil, but you can see that it says 7. So Paul B was the first one to come in with 7. So Paul B, anything in particular or just a regular old reading? Let me know real quick in there while she's shuffling. Dave Plouffe did mention earlier, he says he loves how the cards just fly out as the spirits are just pulling them or whatever they do.
Yeah, they get a little feisty sometimes.
Yeah. Okay, so Paul B hasn't said nothing, so
Okay, well, we'll just do it.
General, yeah, let's see.
Ooh, Paul B, somebody said. Okay, so here we go.
Okay.
What is it that Paul B needs you to tell them today? What is it?
Okay.
Oh.
Yeah, he says regular is fine, so whatever happens has happened. Yeah.
Okay. Wow. Okay. These just kind of all fell out together, so they definitely want me to give these to you. Okay, so your first card is the Devil card. Okay. It talks about talks about excess and extremes. It talks about shadow self, and it talks about unhealthy bonds. So there's something that's going on in your life that you're overdoing it. They're trying to basically warn you that it's not like the devil's going to jump on you or anything. Please believe me, it's not about that. It's about it's time for you to do your shadow self. And it's kind of funny that we were just talking about that earlier about shadow work. It's time for you to let go of something that's you've been hanging on to. And you've been very excessive about it, like I can't really, and it's very unhealthy for you. You're so stuck to it that it's causing health problems. You may not even know that yet, but it is. So you need to work on something here. Let's go to the next card. Okay. This could be something. This is either like work or maybe a relationship, maybe. This talks about aggression and battles and control and dominance. This could be like something that really hurts you or is hurting you. Yeah. And this is very excessive. Whoever this person is, they're being very excessive, like extreme about this whole thing. And they're not letting you go, and you're not letting it go. And you need to, because it's very unhealthy for you. It's caused other issues within your life. The next card is the Two of Pentacles, and it talks about adapting, talks about change in your life, something better, and it talks about juggling things, trying to see your way past all this, finding something new that's going to work for you, and then going with it. But because this is the dance, this is the Two of Pentacles, so this is dancing, this is adapting and changing to get rid of this stuff, because this is not good for you. I don't know what this is about, but it's something that's not, it's a real heavy situation. So yeah, I would want you to just do your best, juggle around things, and just, you have to start letting it go and moving on, because it's not a healthy situation for you.
Yeah, he says he almost died 5 months ago from overwork. So
there you go.
Right on.
They're just, the guides and stuff are telling you that they've seen that. And so it's now they're hoping that you continue changing for your best interest, health wise. So.
And
Yeah.
somebody, one of the mods, please block fire down below. Thank you. So yeah, no, that was spot on. And Paul definitely listen to what she said on that third card too, and
Mhm.
let's make a change. And it's easier said than done, right?
Yeah, it is.
Life revolves around money and work and
Mhm.
getting through.
Try to remember that whatever you make in life, no matter what it is, physical objects, you can't take it with you.
Right.
So get out there
to
and
that.
get out there and enjoy yourself.
Yes.
Travel, do something that you really enjoy doing. I'm getting cold chills, so definitely they're telling me that's what you need to do. Get back into nature, buddy. Okay.
Awesome. Much love to you. Okay, so Paulby says it's actually pretty neat. I went from working 70 hours a week in a really dangerous place to working 30 hours a week at an art center. So good. Let's
Good
hopefully,
for you.
hopefully you're in that change. So,
We know that creativity is your best source to getting energy, building energy.
Yes. Okay, so next, you guys, the power for just block. Anyways, got the next number. Everybody go 1 through 10. First one with it. We'll get the reading. So there you go. We're at 9:16. We got about 10, 15 more minutes. So probably get a couple more in here. And thank you again, Sandra.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. We got the numbers coming in. It's funny how it takes a little while for you guys to get the number. It's only 1 through 10, so it's meant to go to somebody. There we go. First person with the correct number is Zusha K, who's a regular on the channel, and there's the 2. If you can see that, I wrote down. Just so you know, I'm not lying. There's the 2. Yeah. Anything in particular, Zusha, you would like to know about, or just a general? We'll just go do general, and if you pop in, you pop in.
Yeah.
So.
Okay, so what is it Zusha needs to know, guys? Cool.
And Zusha does say, "Oh my God, I never win anything." So there you go. Good for you. Well, you need to be told something today, I think. So you're the only one who said 2.
Yep, absolutely.
And you know what? That's happened all 3 times. I do believe.
Okay, actually, they gave you 4 cards.
Well, there you go.
Okay, so the first card that fell or jumped out of my deck was the World card. See? Let me show you guys to see that. Talks about destiny and fate. Talks about change and cycles.
Wait, what was that card? I'm sorry, what was that card?
The Wheel of Fortune.
Okay, because Zushia goes, will I ever find my true place in this world where I really belong? So if that helps.
Well, it's coming.
Okay, there you go.
Okay, because the Wheel of Fortune is basically change. You're shifting from one thing and it's going this way and it just keeps going around till you get to where you need to be or where they think you need to be. Because this is what they're telling. This is about readings. They tell me through the cards what they want you to know. Whether you want to know it or not, they're still going to tell you. So, okay.
Exactly.
The next thing is they're telling you that you need to rest and recover from something. Like your energy's drained. Something's been going on that's just really draining your energy. And maybe from the past, could be recent past, could be present. Also, about meditation, that you need to reconnect with the guides, because I think that's why they gave you this card. Apparently, you kind of were away from them for a while, and they think that you need to reconnect with them too, so that they can start helping you again. Okay. The next card talks about friendship, compatibility, and an unbreakable bond. I don't know if this is about a relationship or not. Could be. Or it's coming. Okay. See this guy on the horse? This is the Knight of Swords, and he's coming at you. He's just telling you that he's coming at you, or he, she, whoever you're with. It's fine. But he talks about an unstoppable force too. So regardless what you think, it's coming to you. Something is coming towards you that's going to make you very happy.
Nice.
And it could be a new friendship, could be a new relationship. I don't know your situation, but yeah. And it's going to be very wonderful. It's going to be, yeah, whenever you connect with this person, this could be new family, friends. It could be anybody. But whenever you connect, it's going to be a unbreakable bond. It means that you'll be like a soul tribe thing where you're very connected, and that's going to happen quickly. Okay, but you gotta rest to get to that point. That's how the cards lay out. Is it goes from the past or the present into the future. Okay, so yeah.
Okay, very nice. Very nice. And Paul B, thank you very much for the super chat, $10 super chat. Thanks for the reading. I never win anything either. Love you, fam. You guys are silly. And hello, Horror Junkie. Good to see you. And Terrence did ask, I think she uses all different kinds of tarot cards. He's asking what tarot you're using.
It's called the Holy Grail.
Okay.
Tarot.
Okay, very good, very good.
Because let me share this with them. Because I'm getting older, my brain doesn't work as well as it used to. So I have to have cards that has kind of a indicator, on the card.
Yeah.
It reminds me of what it's about, and then I use my intuition to talk about whatever.
Right. No. Awesome. So we are going to do one more. We are at 9:21. And again, Chris also said, and I agree with her, Chris W. said to tell your spirit guides, thank you. Thank you for what you do and for their guidance and for what they're doing right now. So 1 through 10, go. First person with the correct number. And again, it's very odd. It's really weird that all 3 times only one person got the number. So that's very interesting. Terrence said I read the Gypsy deck. Okay.
Very cool. Very cool.
Nobody's got it yet. Let's see. Okay, there we go. We got a winner. Oh, and this time twice. It looks like who is that? Kathy got it first. So Kathy with the 10 there. So yep, Kathy. There you go. Very good. But 2 people did get it that time. Connie got it also. I think we gave Connie a reading last time, so which was very cool. So Kathy, this time it's you. So there you go.
And just to let y'all know that on Tuesday, this coming Tuesday, I will be doing readings on my page on Facebook. So if you want to join me, please do. I have an event set up, so you'll find it pretty easy.
Oh yeah, definitely, you guys go check out that Facebook page, Haunted Central Events and Media.
Yep, but on my page, which is Divine.
Oh,
Sandra's Divine Light Tarot. Okay.
Right, Sandra's Divine Light Tarot. There we go.
Okay, so Kathy, right?
Yes, Kathy.
Okay. All right.
We are house hunting. She says we are house hunting, and it's hard. What do I need to know? And thank you.
I will do my best to answer the question for you. So let's see what the guides want you to know first. Okay. Okay. So, hang on a second. What else is it that Kathy needs to know? can't take that many cards, but I'll take the top ones. Okay. Okay. Okay, I don't know what exactly this stuff represents for you, but this is the King of Pentacles. It talks about community leader, talks about being generous and reliable, and material wealth. So I think what this is trying to tell you is you got some money coming in. Okay. Some kind of abundance is coming into you. That's why the crown is there. And it's talking about wealth, or some say like your loan or something is going to come through very easily, or if it has already, it's all working itself out in the right way. I think that's what they're trying to say. Let's go to the next one and we'll put it all together here at the end. Okay, the next is the Star card again. Wow, somebody else got that too. It talks about healing and hope. It talks about divine renewal and soul alignment. So the soul alignment could be what about your house. It's all coming together. This alignment, your soul with your new house. You're gonna find the right one that fits you perfectly, and that alignment's just gonna fit. I mean, everything's gonna fit together like a puzzle. Every piece is gonna fit in exactly where it needs to be. So, okay. And the last one is about collaboration, dedication, and shared vision. So I would go with the shared vision, but you got two people here, and they're walking out of the darkness into the light. See the light at the end of it. There it is right there. There it is. Let me put it a little closer so you can see. Okay. So I think your house is gonna work out fine. I just think that everything is just gonna fall into place exactly like it's supposed to. The loan, the whatever. I don't know much about house because I haven't never bought a house before, but the loan's going to work out. The realtor, everything, you're going to find the right realtor. It's going to find you the right house, and it's going to be. You're going to walk into that house. It's going to be like this one, the Star card. This crystal is charging, so you're going to walk in. And it's just like going to be whoa. It's just going to hit you. Wow, this is the house I want. It's going to be perfect for you, whether you want a lawn, big lawn, or you want lots of trees, or whatever. And then the shared vision is with like your partner, like your husband or boyfriend, whatever. So it's all working out, and it's all going to work out just fine. You're not going to have any problems. You're going to find the perfect house. Let's put it that way.
Okay. Kathy says, phew, thank you. So stressful trying to make everyone happy in our forever home. So awesome.
Yes.
Awesome. Go with your gut now. Yeah.
Yeah. That's what my guys are telling me, that it's all going to work out just the way you want it to. So.
Awesome. Okay. So at the end here, Sandra does have an event on Tuesday. At what time, says Dave Plouffe? On Tuesday?
It would be 6 p.m. my time. So if you're in Central Time, if you're in Mountain Time, it'd be 7. If you're in Central, it would be 8. And if you're on Eastern, it'd be 9.
Okay, so there you go. 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific. Yes, please, and you got to go to Sandra's Divine Light
Tarot
and Light Tarot. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
You can also get a hold of Justine through her personal Facebook page, just Sandra Justine Wells, and message her. I'm sure she checks there.
I do.
So those are, I think, the two main ways you can try to get her right now. The other is the Haunted Central Events and Media. And that's Facebook, right?
Yes.
Okay, there you go. Just making sure.
Somebody wants to know real quick, how do I pick out my tarot decks? I just feeling. If they feel comfortable to me, then I have a ton of them. So yeah, I do I have a lot of different kinds of cards.
Yeah, I think people who are true mediums, true all of that, healers, whatever, and have that little divine, whatever you want to call it, the right tarot decks are going to come to you. So, I do believe that. But anyways, yeah, no. So, Sandra, thank you. We are at the bottom of the hour, but thank you for joining me again.
My pleasure.
And be sure to message me, and we will work something out. Listen, I am like, it's like 10 p.m. to 10 a.m. every night, and then 8 p.m. 2 hours before, I'm like doing a show almost at least 4 days a week. But we'll figure something out, whether it's earlier in the day or if it's one of my days off. If I got to take a day off for you, I will. So we'll figure it out. Just message me and let me know. But you got a lot of love in here, man. Tracy, Derby Girl, Dave, yes, everybody loving it.
You guys are awesome.
Yes, these are some great people. Love y'all. Make sure you guys all go check out overnight tonight. It's a Halloween special of CBS Radio Mystery. A lot of spooky stories. So you're going to hear all CBS Radio Mystery Theater tonight, spooky stories. Check out all the links everywhere and have a good one. Much love, peace.